Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to yet another episode of Gentlemen's Club Whiskey. I am your host, Mr. Mark Antimate, the pontiff of Japanese whiskey and your Tokyo godfather here. We are celebrating a monumental milestone, say that 3 times fast, for this is the 50th whiskey review episode being uploaded to this channel, as well as this is also my birthday episode, celebrating 40 years on this earth and hoping to get another 40 more plus 20 squeezed out of this life. So we're going to have a special celebratory drink with this one right here. This is the Dewars True Scotch, aged 8 years, Caribbean Smooth Blended Scotch Whiskey. If you looked at the last video that I did, I reviewed the, look, now that I'm looking for it, I can't even find it. I thought I had it laying around inside of this room. I reviewed the Dewars White Label No Age Statement Whiskey in the last episode. And many moons ago, in many episodes ago, I had already reviewed the Dewars Aged 12 Years Scotch. This is a pretty decent one and really good for the price, good bang for the buck. Even the no age statement one was quite good, so I'm hoping that this special edition one right here called the 8 Years Caribbean Smooth is just as good as both of the ones that I've already tried. This one says it's been double aged for extra smoothness. This is coming from Dewars Cask Series number 1. And this is the rum cask finish. Obviously, it's going to be rum cask as it is called Caribbean Smooth. Now, if you don't know about Caribbean liquor is, if you hear the word Caribbean liquor or alcohol, probably 99% of the time they're talking about rum, as Barbados is a leader in producing rum, as is Jamaica, as is Haiti, and even Cuba. So you got all of these places inside the Caribbean with that nice mild to hot, no, subtropical, tropical weather that where they distill rum at, and they use cask for that and for the aging as well. So it's similar to whiskey, but it's not really the same thing, but you know, it's kind of made in a similar fashion. Now what they did here with this blended scotch is that they aged this for 8 years and then they put it inside of rum cask from these different Caribbean countries for about another 6 months for additional aging. And this additional 6 months of aging is what you call a finish. Once you take it out of the main cask and you put it inside of some secondary cask just for just a little bit of time of additional aging. So taking a look at the Dewars website really quick, this is Dewars.com that I'm looking at. It says Dewars Caribbean Smooth is a blend of up to 40 single malts and grain whiskeys that have been aged for at least 8 years and then double aged before being finished in Caribbean rum cask for up to 6 months, creating a Caribbean smooth finish. Having a look around the box, you have the flavor notes prominent on the side. It says the flavor notes is tropical fruits with an S. Sorry if I said fruit, brown sugar, and caramel. So I'm thinking that this is going to have pineapple, coconut type of taste and very sweet with the brown sugar and caramel. And on the back here, it says double aged for extra smoothness. All right, this is the same stuff that's written on the website that I just read. And the tasting notes down here again. And you have the signature of the master blender for Dewars, Miss Stephanie J. McLeod. I'm assuming that's how you say her name. I'm trying to give it that Irish twang. McLeod. Am I saying it right? That's the way it's spelled, so I'm trying to say it how it's spelled. So let's go ahead and open up this one. This will be my first time. I had this one sitting around inside of my apartment for at least a good half a year. So finally, glad to be able to crack open the box. And this seal here. This is a beautiful bottle. Where's my other one at? Hold on. All right. Just a quick bottle comparison. This is the Dewars True Scotch aged 12 years. This is a pretty standard one. Beautiful labels on both of them. They look very similar, but the color scheme on this Caribbean Smooth with this nice light sky blue and this matte black cap, twist cap with the light blue on there. It's a nice contrast. Nice and smooth. Hopefully it's going to taste nice and smooth. And on the label it says John Dewars, world's most awarded blended Scotch whiskey. All right, there you go. Established 1846. All right. So let's go ahead and try this. Let's crack this open for the first time. ABV on this one, if I haven't already said it, this is 40% ABV, just like the other two that I tried, the No Age Statement White Label and the Age 12 Years. And this comes inside of a 700 milliliter size bottle. Looking around for my Glencairn glass, which is right here. It's looking kind of dirty, but I guess we're going to clean it up with some alcohol. Let's give it a nice little pour there. Not too much. It's probably like 20 milliliters inside of there. All right. So this is the part of the review. Let me go ahead and put this up here real quick. This is the part of the review where I turn off my camera. I do my taste assessment, and then I'll be right back with you guys and let you know what it is that I think of this particular blended Scotch whiskey. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. It took me a little bit of time to assess this one, maybe about a good 6 or 7 minutes or so. I was writing down my notes. Not a very difficult one to figure out here, but I would say that my tasting notes are completely different from the ones that the house recommends, in which, you know, you can see on the side here, clearly there's a pineapple and there's coconuts there. And you got brown sugar and you got caramel. Did I say it's completely different? It's a little bit different. Yeah, some of these notes are inside of here in different places. But anyways, let's go ahead and go through it real quick. These are my tasting notes. I haven't put any water inside of here. Although I do have this new Glencairn pipette that I just bought, but haven't even used yet. Haven't even opened it. I guess I don't need to necessarily for this review because it's so light at 40% ABV. Nothing that's going to distract you or burn your tongue or make you wish that you had added water. Water's completely unnecessary with this one. So let's go through the motions here together. On the nose, when you do the initial pour for like the first 4 minutes, if you don't let it sit long enough, it's going to have that generic malt and grain aroma to it. It's going to be a little bit like cereal, a little bit like caramel, maple syrup, and pome fruits. If you don't know what pome fruits are, it's the category of fruits that includes apples and pears and things like that that have the seeds inside the middle. You know, they're not the exact same taste, these two things, and anything else inside the pome fruit category, but they're quite similar in some aspects in the taste field. So you have pome fruits on the nose. Now that I've let it sit for about a good 6 to 7 minutes, now it's just coming out a little bit more vanilla, but that's after letting it sit. But the initial smell is what I just read off here. On the palate, now this is completely different from stuff that you're going to find on the box here. Mm. On the palate, sea salt and dark chocolate. The finish is very quick, or I guess you could say short. More or less, these words are synonymous with one another, quick or short. There's a little bit of smoke there, but the smoke is not to be confused with peat. This is not a peaty whiskey, but it has sort of like a smoke, like a smoked cheese, smoked meat, smoked something. It's just a kind of smoke taste to it on the finish. And also on that finish, you have cream vanilla and you have the brown sugar that's listed on the back of the box there. All right, so let me have one more look at this box. So it says the tropical fruits. I didn't taste these two particular tropical fruits at all. This brown sugar, I was able to get a little bit of taste of brown sugar on my finish, and I was able to get caramel on the nose. I guess you can kind of say there was a little bit of caramel on the finish, but I would more or less call that just cream vanilla and brown sugar. Yeah, so I mean, a little bit similar, but not a complete matchup with what I think about it. All in all, I don't remember the price of this one in Japan, but I do remember that it was quite cheap. Very affordable for an age statement 8 years whiskey, which is not bad. I highly recommend this for drinkers of whiskey. I mean, if you're the type of person that gets off from work and you have a dram a night, I don't know if that's too much for the average person. I only drink really when I'm celebrating something or when I'm conducting these reviews, so I don't really drink that often. But I guess if you are one of those type of people that drink often and you're just going through bottles and bottles of whiskey, but you don't want to break the bank doing it, but you want something that's affordable and you can enjoy often enough without breaking the bank, this is definitely a good one in that regard. You know what? I want to use my pipette real quick because I never, ever use this thing. I bought this from Tokyo Station, from one of my favorite liquor stores here in Tokyo, Japan. It's called Liquors Hasegawa. And there's two of these places in Tokyo Station. Both are nice. The inventory might be a little bit different in both of them. All right, so this one is an actual glass pipe. You don't want to drop this because it's going to just shatter and leave glass all over the place. There's a little place for you to put your thumb here. You know, you dip it inside of your water first, and you get how much, you dip it in as far as how much you want to absorb inside of this pipette. You're going to put your thumb here, hold it, take it out of the thing, and then hover it over your drink, let go, and just watch it drop down inside of there. So I have some bottled water here. Not too much because we only have just a little bit. That's only like 10 milliliters of whiskey sitting inside of there. So not too much, just enough just to open it up just a little bit. Let's see what this is like. You see, just like that. And let's go ahead and drop that. All right. This is purified water, by the way, nothing from the sink. Not that it really matters that much, at least here intra-Japan, but water is pretty important to whiskey. So let's try to use something that's purified. Will it open it up enough? The smell is essentially almost the same as it was. Cereal, malted grain. Just as it was when I first made the pour, but just a little bit lighter. The taste, more or less the same. to be honest with you. The finish, more or less the same. The profile takes a change for a little bit better with just a few droplets of water added. But it's more of an extension of what's already there inside of the whiskey. It just makes those tastes a little bit more prominent inside of the mouth by adding water to it. But it's not that it creates any new type of flavors that you're going to be able to extract out of the whiskey after adding it. So there's that. That's pretty good. All in all, this is a pretty good whiskey. I'm going to say Dewars is now 3 for 3, at least out of all the ones that I tried thus far. Haven't been disappointed with any of them. So the white label, no age statement, Caribbean Smooth, aged 8 years, and the Dewars, aged 12 years. All three of these were fantastic. If you want to see my reviews over the other two, just check the end of this video or just search my channel and I'm sure those will pop up. And they do have a lot more of these age 8-year whiskeys. Like this one is the Caribbean Smooth. They also have some other ones. Let me check the internet real quick and try to see if I can get a grasp on what those are. But more or less, they have these different types of finishes that you can try from Dewars. And it seems like they have quite a few of them. At least minimum, I think they have 3 different cask finishes for 8 years. How much differing are these tastes going to be amongst these aged 8 years whiskeys? I don't know. The only way to find out is to buy one more of a different flavor and see if it's a drastic change from this. I mean, I'm assuming that those are aged 6 years, finished 6 years. I'm assuming that those are finished for 6 months in different cask. So how much of a difference is that going to make, really? Who knows? All right. So I have the Caribbean Smooth that I just had. Then they have one called the Illegal Smooth. And then they have Portuguese Smooth. And then they have Japanese Smooth. And then they have French Smooth. So they have 5 different smooths. Let me just take a look at some of these tasting notes and see what they have to say. The Illegal Smooth is 8 years. I think they're all 8 years with 6 months finished in extra cask. So the Illegal Smooth has a mezcal cask finish. That should be a good one. That should be one for me to try. That might be very spicy, smoky, not peated, but like a peat-esque taste. Because if you ever had mezcal, it's very heavy in deep smoke. Because of the burning of plants and things of that nature. So, if I'm going to determine if there's going to be a big difference between these 8 years, maybe that would be the next one for me to get and try and let you know if there's a big difference. So that's mezcal finish. Let me take a look at this Japanese Smooth. Let's see what is the difference in this. The Japanese Smooth, obviously, finished in Mizunara oak cask finish. Let me try to get my Japanese correct there. Portuguese Smooth, port cask finish, obviously. French Smooth, what is that going to be? Don't tell me that's going to be brandy. That's going to be brandy. Let me take a look. Apple brandy cask finish. All right, so all of these is what you assume that they would be. Different barrels. Yeah, these barrels are drastically different from one another on what was aged inside of there previously. So if they can extract these different flavors, I'm expecting enough of a difference to warrant trying many of these drinks. But anyways, as usual, I'm rambling and I'm just dragging this review on and on. It's a good drink. I recommend that you buy it. Now looking at these other ones, I can't believe that I bought this one first as opposed to these other 4, but I'll get around to trying those eventually. They won't be in the next follow-up video, but eventually I'll get around to trying those. Anyways, I thank you for watching this review over the Dewars Age 8 Years Caribbean Smooth Rum Cask Finish Whiskey. Happy birthday to me. Salute to you wherever you may be out inside the world. If you're drinking, make sure that you drink responsibly. If you're watching this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up if you find this review helpful or even entertaining, if not informative. I could use all the likes I can get. I could use your subscription to help me level up the channel some more. And anyways, that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one. And until next time, gentlemen, peace.